6-month review on the Shelby GT350. Welcome back to Panzer 966. Alright, the 6-month review. Alright, first off, I'm still smiling, guys. This car is quite a driving machine. You are looking for a driver's car? Bam! That is one of them. Okay, the manual, you feel connected with the car. The transmission is amazing, Trim-X 6-speed. The drive, the steering, the sound, everything is amazing about this car when you drive it, when you race it even. Yeah, it's not as fast as one of those double clutch PDK, whatever that's out there, but still, I would buy a manual before an automatic if any day of the week. No, like, I don't care about milliseconds anymore. I'd rather shift my own car. Now, that being said, watch this, my next car, I'll be an automatic. Anyways, so, okay. The goods, guys. Probably gonna repeat some of the stuff I've said in my first 2 reviews. It's, like I said, amazing car to drive, great sound, looks. Oh my God, do I ever get looks about this car? People will come and tell me, "Man, you got a nice car." I go fuel it almost every time somebody comes and tell me how nice this car is. How nice it sounds too. Whenever I do like autocrossing or this, that, or I just rev it, the guys are like freaking out about the sound. Keep in mind, this one does have the resonator delete, which I believe if you ever consider buying one of these cars, for about $600, you get the resonator delete, and good God, this thing sounds like a beast, especially when you're revving it. The interior seems to be, although on the cheap side, I guess, if you compare it to other high-end brand or car in this price range, right? It seems to be holding up nice. Mind you, I only have like about 5,000 kilometers right now. So, and I do take really, really good care of my stuff. So, no major issue with the car so far. I do seems to be noticing I had to top up the oil a little bit. These cars do burn oil, so keep that in mind. If you're ever buying one or if you own one, I would highly suggest that every fill up or second fill up, check your oil. Very, very important. You don't want to. A few guys have had the motor replacement already, so you don't want to get caught with that. What else? Grip, amazing. The sync system, the multimedia system, if you have the track package and everything else on it, is actually pretty damn good. I gotta say, I have like a Porsche home. I had BMW. I had about every multimedia system you can think out there. That one is actually pretty good. Very user friendly. I got a bunch of USB in the car, which is a must nowadays, right? Plug in the GoPro, the remote, all that stuff, phones. It does have Apple CarPlay. Don't know if it has Android Play. We've talked about this before. The seats. It is pretty nice to have those heated and cool seats. Again, no issue. I'd still prefer the racing seats, but oh well, this is what it is. So hold on, I gotta do. You hear that, guys? What did I say about this sound? Amazing, eh? I've become pretty proficient now with my heel toe and the blipping and everything before downshifting. I think it's a must with this high revving car. You guys, if you're not interested in that, I would advise for practicing. And it took me a while there. It took me a few 1,000 kilometers to get it down right, but now it's pretty easy. So I really like it. And besides, you hear that sound and just feel like I'm racing all the time, right? So I think there's a guy behind me that wants to hear my engine a little bit more. So let's give him a little rev. Woo! Okay, now. Okay, let's talk about a little bit of bads. Okay, if you're into autocross racing, forget it. This thing, I do autocross every month, and not the this guy just gave me a thumbs up. Not the best car around. Not the best car around. Okay. This is a high revving engine. I feel like I'm always stuck in between first and second, trying to heel toe that stuff around cones. Not the greatest. Track car though, hey, couldn't ask for anything better. Paint, I've talked about it. Oh my god, this thing is fucking horrible. All right, it's like rock chips. Like, I do nothing. I got 5,000 kilometers, and I swear to God, like, you go see the chips. The paint is so thin. It's not even funny. I feel like they only primed this car and just slap on some stripe on it. God, come on, Ford. Fucking 80 grand for this car. Like, come on, put a nice, decent coat of paint. What about the wheels? Again, talked about it. Seems to be, they're black, right? And they seems to be losing a little bit of their sparkles. It kind of feel like they're changing colors. I've scratched a few. One just washing them, for Pete's sakes. Same for the brake. This one is the GT350, not the R. So it has black Brembo brake on it. And again, I see some fading on the black for the brake, which is pretty disappointing me. 5,000 kilometers. I owned it for 6 months. The speakers. I mean, I have the shaker audio again. No sub in back, or I don't mind. Put a, like, one of my old Jeep SRT. Hey, that freaking detachable sub in the back. Come on, again, I'm paying 80 grand. Come on, Ford, slap a sub in this car. You want it save weight? Well, just make it removable, right? A few bracket, boom, boom, it's done. Again, like I said I did like those seats, right? Now on the downside, I feel like, again, it's only 5,000 kilometers in, and I feel the driver's seat is already losing some of his bolster capability, right? I feel like it's getting softer already. Only 5,000 kilometers. I don't know. A bit disappointed in the seat. Again, that was not my choice. I took the one on the lot, so I would have bought the racing seat. Probably a lot better. I think, guys, my biggest gripe with this car, coming especially from, you know, my M4. Just got, if you watch my channel, you see I just bought a Macan. Like, for the same price point for the performance car, I feel the car is pretty cheap. I understand it. They put everything in the freaking, you know, the racing bits, great engine and all that stuff. But I feel the car, it looks and it feels cheap. Sadly, it's, you know, rattling, and you know, I bought that car freaking a few weeks after that. The pillar on the driver's side where the tweeter was all loose, right? Like, come on. I mean, the fitting, the bumpers, they're sagging, and that's a common problem. Yeah, Ford will fix it under warranty, but why? I'm just spent 80 grand on a vehicle. I don't want to bring it in the shop to have it fixed already, right? Come on, Ford, get your shit together. But I mean, again, all those things seems to go away as soon as you, like, step on the throttle. This engine is amazing. Oh, freaking love it. But another good thing, we'll go back to a few good things, right? The Mustang. I guess that's the best part about the Mustang, right? You can customize this thing, like, super easily, and it's actually pretty cheap too. I didn't do much on it. Watch my other video, I got a mud video. I didn't do much, but it personalized the cars to you, right? So I kind of like this. I do have a group of friends where we hang out on the weekends with cars, right? We do cars and coffee and a few shows and this and that. And even when I lift my hood, I like, because everybody wants to see the car, right? Everybody wants to see what's under the hood of that great freaking sound machine. So I have to lift this up fairly often, and, you know, change the engine coil covers, and, you know, put a few dress kit on the caps there under the hood. It just looks nicer. Put the blue air filter. So it's all stuff, and it's actually fairly cheap compare, like, say, my M4. Anything I wanted to done on that thing was freaking a few $1,000s. Ridiculous. But yeah, so I do like that about the Mustang, right? I had nice carpet all over, you know. So plenty of parts out there, easy to find, easy to buy, even in Canada. So that's all good. Now, we were talking about the 5.2 engine, right? Great engine. Now, I'd say on the opposite side, right? Great race engine on the street. I mean, it's very hard to be hot in the power band, right? In the torque band at 4,000 RPM. There's like, come on guys, I shift in second. Like if I redline this thing in second, I'm already at 130 kilometers an hour. Okay, for you US folks, like 60 miles equal 100 kilometers an hour. So that tells you an idea. In second gear, it's ridiculous. So I mean, to get full potential of that engine, you gotta rev it high. And to rev it high, you go over the speed limit everywhere, basically. It's crazy. So you gotta be very careful if to drive every day. Probably not the most fun car around, because I'm always at, right now, I'm in a 60 zone. I'm in third at like 2,500 RPM. So I have no torque. I mean, you're not in a power band yet. So, I mean, like I said, great engine, great car, but just be aware of that if you're ever considering one of those cars. If I had infinite amount of money, which I really don't, and I'm a big car enthusiast, and this car was always meant, like I always bought it, and I always had in the back of my mind this was a temporary car. Couldn't get the car I really wanted, so I bought this one with a 2-year ownership in mind. So, I mean, if I had infinite amount of money, I would definitely keep this car. I would, bring it to the racetrack, put it in the garage, wait for it to gain value, because I'm pretty sure they will at one point, just on the fact of that engine. But I mean, I don't, so chances are I won't keep this car very long. Although I really like it. It has nothing to do with the fact, do I love it or not? I love this car. I would buy it again, but there's other cars that's my dream car that I really want. So I doubt I'll be keeping this car for very long. And also guys, we keep talking about this great 5.2 V8 with 526 horsepower. God, the fuel economy on this thing is the worst. I've had bad cars before. Like I had a Ford Raptor, a Jeep. Okay, granted, my cars didn't make that sound, and it's probably why I have bad fuel economy. But I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT8 with the 6.0 back in 2009. That thing was horrible. This is worse. Like, it's crazy. This engine just drinks fuel like nobody's business, like a drunk sailor. It's crazy. I'm always at the fuel tank, and although I guess you could get away with 91 octane, they do in the supplement, they do recommend high octane, so I put the good stuff, I put the 94. Well, right now, in this day and age, I'm $1.75 Canadian for 1 liter. That's not a gallon, folks, that's 1 liter. So it's pretty expensive. But yeah, I mean, I had no illusion. I didn't think this car was going to be cheap on fuel. I just didn't expect it to be that bad. But that wouldn't be a deal breaker. I would never sell this car because it's too bad on fuel. I mean, it is what it is. I do have other cars, and for me, that's not a deal breaker. It might be a deal breaker if, say, you want to make this your commuter. Well, freaking, I hope you have deep pockets, because that's going to cost you a lot in gas money. Even in the wet, this car handles pretty well. I've tried a few times. I'm in BC, right? Lots of rain out here, and I've used the weather mode, which I guess restrict a lot with the stability control and the traction control and all that stuff. Never had any issue. Don't spin that much. Tires, I love them. I had them on the M4 Pilot Super Sport. I think they're great in the rain or I mean, they're okay in the rain, great on the dry. I have no issue with the tires. They seem to be wearing well too, so no problem. Alright folks, this is going to conclude my 6-month review on the GT350. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. I monitor my YouTube page a lot. And guys, want to help me out? Subscribe, please. Oh, what's happening? Jesus. Sorry, guys. I'm driving. We got some bad drivers in front of us. Guys, please subscribe to my channel. We've been doing very well. I'd like to thank everybody that subscribed in the last 2 months. My channel like more than doubled. Thank you for your support, guys. But pass it on, share my videos, subscribe, leave me comment, like it. We need to grow this page so I can actually buy better equipment, post more content, and hey, you guys are going to be the winners. All right, cheers. Take care. I'll see you next time.